ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇವತ್ತು ಕಠೋಪನಿಷತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಷಷ್ಠಿವಳ್ಳಿ ಚಾಂಟಿಂಗು. ಓಂ ಸಹನಾವವತು
ಸಹನೋ ಭುನಕ್ತು ಸಹ ವೀರ್ಯಂ ಕರವಾವಹೈ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಾವಧೀತಮಸ್ತು ಮಾ ವಿದ್ವಿಷಾವಹೈ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ.
ಊರ್ಧ್ವಮೂಲೋ ವಾಕ್ಷಾಕ
ಏಷೋಶ್ವಂತ ಸನಾತನಃ ತದೇವ ಶುಕ್ರಂ ತದ್ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ತದೇವಾಮೃತಮುಚ್ಯತೆ. ತಸ್ಮಿನ್ ಲೋಕಾಶ್ರಿತಾ ಸರ್ವೇ ತದುನಾತೇತಿ ಕಶ್ಚನ. ಏತದ್ವೈತದ್ ಯದಿದಂ ಕಿಂಚ ಜಗತ್ ಸರ್ವಂ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಏಷತಿ ನಿಸ್ಸೃತಂ. ಮಹದ್ಭಯಂ ವಜ್ರಮುದ್ಯತಂ ಯ ಏತದ್ವಿದುರಮೃತಾಸೇ ಭವಂತಿ. ಭಯಾದಸ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಸ್ತಪತಿ ಭಯಾತ್ತಪತಿ ಸೂರ್ಯಃ. ಭಯಾದ್ ಇಂದ್ರಶ್ಚ ವಾಯುಶ್ಚ ಮೃತ್ಯುರ್ಧಾವತಿ ಪಂಚಮಃ. ಇಹ ಚೇದಶಕದ್ಬೋಧುಂ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಶರೀರಸ್ಯ ವಿಸ್ರಸಃ. ತತಃ ಸರ್ವೇಷು ಲೋಕೇಷು ಶರೀರತ್ವಾಯ ಕಲ್ಪತೆ. ಯಥಾ ದರ್ಶೆ ತಥಾತ್ಮನಿ ಯಥಾ ಸ್ವಪ್ನೆ ತಥಾ ಪಿತೃಲೋಕೆ.
ಯಥಾಂಸು ಪರೀವದೃಶೆ
ತಥಾ ಗಂಧರ್ವಲೋಕೆ. ಛಾಯಾತಪಯೋರಿವ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಲೋಕೆ. ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಾಣಾಂ ಪೃಥಗ್ಭಾವಮುದಯಾತ್ ಸಮಯೌಷಯತ್. ಪೃಥಗುತ್ಪದ್ಯಮಾನಾನಾಂ ಮತ್ವಾ ಧೀರೋ ನ ಶೋಷತಿ. ಇಂದ್ರಿಯೇಭ್ಯಃ ಪರಂ ಮನೋ ಮನಸಃ ಸತ್ವಮುತ್ತಮಂ. ಸತ್ವಾದಧಿ ಮಹಾನಾತ್ಮಾ ಮಹತೋ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಮುತ್ತಮಂ. ಅವ್ಯಕ್ತಾತ್ ಪರಪುರುಷೋ ವ್ಯಾಪಕೋ ಲಿಂಗ ಏವ ಚ. ಯಂ ಜ್ಞಾತ್ವಾ ಮುಚ್ಯತೆ ಜಂತುರಮೃತತ್ವಂ ಚ ಗಚ್ಚತಿ.
ನ
ಸಂದೃಶೇ ತಿಷ್ಠತಿ ರೂಪಮಸ್ಯ ನ ಚಕ್ಷುಷಾ ಪಶ್ಯತಿ ಕಶ್ಚನೈನಂ. ಹೃದಾ ಮನೀಷಾ ಮನಸಾಭಿಕ್ಲೃಪ್ತೋ ಯ ಏತದ್ವಿದುರಮೃತಾಸೇ ಭವಂತಿ. ಯದಾ ಪಂಚಾವತಿಷ್ಠನ್ತಿ ಜ್ಞಾನಾನಿ ಮನಸಾ ಸಹ ಬುದ್ಧಿಶ್ಚ ನ ವಿಚೇಷ್ಟತೆ. ತಾಮಾಹು ಪರಮಾಂ ಗತಿಂ. ತಾಂ ಯೋಗಮಿತಿ ಮನ್ಯಂತೆ ಸ್ಥಿರಾಮಿಂದ್ರಿಯಧಾರಣಾಂ. ಅಪ್ರಮತ್ತಸ್ತದಾ ಭವತಿ ಯೋಗೋ ಹಿ ಪ್ರಭವಾಪ್ಯಯೌ. ನೈವ ವಾಚಾ ನ ಮನಸಾ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತುಂ ಶಕ್ಯೋ ನ ಚಕ್ಷುಷಾ. ಅಸ್ತೀತಿ ಬ್ರುವತೋನ್ಯತ್ರ ಕಥಂ ತದುಪಲಭ್ಯತೆ.
ಅಸ್ತಿ
ದೇವೋಪಲಬ್ಧವ್ಯಸ್ತತ್ವಭಾವೇನ ಚೋಭಯೋಃ. ಅಸ್ತಿ ದೇವೋಪಲಬ್ಧಸ್ಯ ತತ್ವಭಾವ ಪ್ರಸೀದತಿ. ಯದಾ ಸರ್ವೇ ಪ್ರಮುಚ್ಯಂತೆ ಕಾಮಾಯೇಸ್ಯ ಹೃದಯ ಶ್ರಿತಾಃ. ಅಥ ಮರ್ತ್ಯೋ ಮೃತೋ ಭವತ್ಯತ್ರ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಮಶ್ನುತೆ. ಯದಾ ಸರ್ವೇ ಪ್ರವಿದ್ಯಂತೆ ಹೃದಯಸ್ಯೇಹ ಗ್ರಂಥಯಃ. ಅಥ ಮರ್ತ್ಯೋ ಮೃತೋ ಭವತಿ ತಾವದ್ಯನುಶಾಸನಂ. ಶತಂ ಚೈಕಾಚ ಹೃದಯಸ್ಯ ನಾಡ್ಯಸ್ತಾಸಾಮೂರ್ಧಾನಮಭಿನಿಸೃತೈಕಂ. ತಯೋರ್ಧ್ವಮಾಯನಮೃತತ್ವಮೇತಿ ವಿಶ್ವಂ ಅನ್ಯಾ ಉತ್ಕ್ರಮಣೇ ಭವಂತಿ. अङ्गुष्ठमात्र पुरुषोऽन्तरात्मा सदा जनानां हृदये सन्निविष्टः तं स्वाच्छरीरात् प्रवृहेर्मुञ्जादिवेशिकां धैर्येण तं विद्याशुक्रममृतं तं विद्याशुक्रममृतमिति मृत्युप्रोक्तां नाचिकेतोऽथ लब्ध्वा विद्यामेतां योगविधिं च कृत्स्नम् ब्रह्म प्राप्तो विरजो बुद्धिमृत्युरन्योपेवं यो विदधात्ममेव ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत्.
We have come to the last class of Kathopanishad series. We will also try to summarize what we have learned. The most important thing about the study of Upanishad is it gives us a good introduction to our true being, to our own nature. Self-knowledge is not in books, it is not in lectures. It is shining in our own heart, waiting to manifest. So keep in touch with that self. Through books, through lectures, but the essential thing is right within you. Vivekananda used to say, I worship that God who by the ignorant is called man. The truth of existence is shining right within you, right now. So let us look upon all beings in that same manner. Keep up the spirit of sadhana and keep coming here. The vibrations of these places are most important for our lives. Otherwise, nothing serious will happen. So keep in touch with all this. Today's last chapter is going to give us some very nice ideas again. See, this very first idea, Urdha Mulo Vakshaka Esho Ashvatha Sanatanaha Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma Tadeva Amrita Muchyate. This is a particular imagery which you will find in our scriptures. You will also find it in Bhagavad Gita and in some other portions of the Vedas also. It is the imagery of an inverted Ashwatha tree. An inverted Ashwatha tree. And the idea is this, they are saying that you see all the trunk, the branches, the leaves, everything of that tree pertain to the human being, the life in the world, the relationships we have, the work we are doing, with our thoughts, with our objects which we have invented to make our life nice in this world, to ease our life. So that is all the branches and leaves and the fruit of the tree. But where are the roots of that tree? In the high heavens, in Brahman. The roots of this world of manifestation lie in Brahman. The roots of your individuality, so-called, the roots of your personality lie in the truth of the self. If you want to strengthen your personality, strengthen your mind, strengthen your life, you must water the roots. Yes? You want a plant to grow well, what do? You water the root. That has to be firm. This is what they are saying. You want to build life, you want to manifest full life energy, you want to live well, go to the roots. Find your roots in the self. Strengthen that and automatically everything will become strong. Check this out and see, without self-knowledge, life can never have intrinsic strength. Our mind will falter, we will weaken, isn't it? The mind can create just anything out of life. So that is why self-knowledge, the roots of your personality lie in the self, they are telling us. Strengthen that root first. This is actually knowledge to be given in school years, because that is the time when we are, strengthening our taproot. That is the time to do this. But anyway, it was not given to us. What to do? Somehow we grew. No wonder we are inverted in everything. So that's why now they are telling us, strengthen the roots. If you strengthen your spiritual roots, please remember, everything else will be taken care of. Our mind will know how to function. That's the greatest blessing. See, today afternoon I am going to Ramaya College. The topic is mind management. All I will be telling this is this. The source of your mind you should touch. Otherwise, simply giving all kinds of, counseling. Some of you might have seen in colleges they are giving counseling. It is just like how, trying to fix something in bits and pieces. Go to the heart of the matter. You are manifesting as a personality, but your roots, your very essence lies in the self, in consciousness. What did you do to touch that? Have we done anything in life? We didn't even know about it. Only Kathopanishad told us, and now we are coming to know about it. See, what a tragic state of affairs. No? If right from the beginning this education was given, the plant will blossom fully, he is saying. Everything will strengthen from within. Everything will get energized from within, invigorated. Vivekananda used to say, the Upanishads are an infinite mine of strength in which lies strength enough to invigorate the whole world. And nowhere else lies strength. Remember this. Only with self-knowledge you stand on your own feet. You become independent of circumstance and the vagaries of your mind and the vagaries of other minds also. Without self-knowledge, we will falter at every step. That is why Atmanam Vidhi, that's the message of the Upanishads. First know yourself. Everything will fall in place. This imagery is drawn so many times in our Vedas that they are telling us through an image. An image speaks 1,000 words, isn't it? A picture speaks 1,000 words. This is what they are trying to tell us. Without which the plant will not grow if your roots are not firm. Then yadidam kincha jagat sarvam prana ejati nisritam mahadbhayam vajramudyatam ya etad vidur amritaste bhavanti. Whatever has come in this world has come from prana. Life, as we see it, is being called prana here. That life is nothing but a manifestation of consciousness, a manifestation of Brahman. See, two words are used in the Upanishads. One is Brahman, second is prana. What's the connection? Prana is life energy, life force, you can say, vitality. It comes from Brahman, from consciousness. And it manifests as everything around us, as human beings, as plants, and as our actions, as our thoughts. Everything is life force, pranic energy. But its source lies in Brahman. So you want to invigorate life, you must work on drawing from consciousness. Leading a conscious life is an intelligent life. An unconscious life, can it be intelligent? Can it manifest real vitality? Tell me. A compulsive life, begging for something, little recognition, little. Can it be called life? Draw from your consciousness, that's what they are telling you. Invigorate your life with self-knowledge. And life will blossom out fully. That is the way to strengthen ourselves from within. Again and again they will say, you see, in prana, again prana rests in Brahman and functions through Brahman. Everything functions through consciousness, isn't it? Suppose you were unconscious entity. Will anything function at all? See that stone there, that stone wall. No function. Why? No consciousness is getting manifested. Just existence is there, no consciousness. Where there is consciousness, there is life. More the consciousness, better the life. Which means a really conscious life is to be aimed at. Conscious life is liberated life. Opposite of conscious life is compulsive life. Compulsive means you are being compelled by an outer circumstance to behave properly, to do the right thing, to think correctly. Yeah, many people are working like that, you know. Police force is required to do the right action. Legislation is required to think properly. Isn't this crazy? A compulsive life is a very limited, slavish life. Please know this. Some outer thing should not dictate my inner mechanism, how I should function. My own consciousness should dictate it. That is a conscious life. So to become deeply conscious is the very purpose of the Upanishad. You remember this, sadhana. You may be doing japa and meditation, but in the first person, sadhana becomes the deeply conscious life. Through your japa and meditation, what is actually happening is you are getting deeply conscious within yourself until you touch pure consciousness. And that is the really intelligent life. The mind will remain so clear, you don't have to think twice for a solution. You just know what to do. You just know how to think. And you taste a bigger chunk of life. So that is why they are saying, you see, life is invigorated by consciousness. Life is nothing but the manifestation of consciousness through this mechanism, this body-mind. That is what is being called life. See, if you ask what is vital energy, prana, it is nothing but the expression of consciousness through the physical mechanism. So when you bring the self into forefront, consciousness into forefront, life gets invigorated, life energy. You will function magically well in this world. See, this is the impact of an awakened soul. A Vivekananda, Mother, Thakur, look at their lives. Awakened from within, the impact is tremendous. Over centuries it goes on. Life energy is awakened everywhere, wherever they are. You see, consciousness awakens life. So take care of this. Anything that puts down consciousness is to be avoided. What puts down consciousness? What numbs us into senses? Drinks and drugs and all kinds of addictions. That numbs consciousness. So keep a distance. Then he says, Mahad bhayam vajramudyatam ya etad vidur amritaste bhavanti. Brahman is like a thunderbolt. It is pure consciousness. Everything obeys it. And that is how it invigorates itself. Which means the source of your entire being is very powerful. Yes, you touch the source, you will become powerful. Vivekananda used to say this especially to youngsters. All power is already within you. You can do anything and everything. It's not just an statement of optimism. It's the fact about you. He used to say, the human being is the Taj Mahal of temples. Where will you go to worship God? He is shining in every human heart. So awaken this knowledge of the self. That is the refrain. Then the next mantra says, see, Yama is telling all this to Nachiketa. Seeing the middle of that young boy standing in front of him, he is giving out these verses. Bhayadasya agnis tapati, bhayat tapati suryaha, bhayad indrascha vayuscha, mrityur dhavati panchama. These very 5 elements only obey Brahman. He dictates how they should function. Even the cosmic elements, see? By the fear of Brahman, fire gives heat. The sun shines. Indra, Vayu, death, we function through the power of Brahman, through the power of consciousness. They are just asking you to think deeply about how important this consciousness factor is in us. It is the source of all mentation, sensation, perception, non-perception. Whatever you are doing, the source of it is Brahman. Recognize this, we are telling you. Recognize this and acknowledge it in your life, and so build a conscious life, not an unconscious life. There is this beautiful conversation in the Upanishad. Just to illustrate this point, it is the conversation between Janaka and Yajnavalkya. Many conversations are there between these two. Okay, very interesting. Pointers to the truth of Brahman. So this particular conversation, Janaka, he's a Raja Rishi. He's a Raja cum Rishi and a fully illumined soul. And Yajnavalkya is a Brahma Rishi, a knower of Brahman. Yajnavalkya was the leader of the rishis of those times, because the full manifest knowledge of Brahman was found in him. And so lots of arguments taking place with Yajnavalkya in the Upanishads. So they both meet, and then Janaka asks Yajnavalkya, okay, tell me one thing, oh teacher, you tell me, what is this light in this world through which I see objects? By what light do we see objects? Tell me, by what light do we see objects? Sunlight. Right? So he said sunlight. Then Janaka said, suppose the sun did not rise on some day. Follow this carefully. Suppose the sun did not rise. Then by what light would you see objects? Moonlight. Yes. Moonlight, starlight. Suppose they also did not rise. Okay, starlight, but suppose stars also did not rise. By what light would you see objects? Think and tell me. First he said, why? I would know it by the sense of touch. I would know an object by touch. And I would know an object by speech. Then Janaka says, suppose you were so numbed that you couldn't speak nor touch. How would you know objects? Smell. Suppose that all faculty also was taken away from you. How would you know an object? Only by consciousness you can know. Just by being conscious, you know. So then you are the light of lights. You are the light of lights. And then he says, you are verily the source of all perception and mentation. That is why the source of all knowledge. First, that is why self-knowledge. And then you can have knowledge of the world. Sri Ramakrishna put it so simply. First, Ishwarer Jnana. Then the knowledge of the world. If I don't know myself, how can I know you? Tell me. How can I know something else? So, this kind of conversation, many times it occurs in the Upanishads. Again, you have between Yajnavalkya and Gargi, then Yajnavalkya and Maitreyi. They are constantly discussing this. What is the center of the human personality? The central, basic, fundamental reality about my being. They are discussing about that. So that is why you see in this Upanishad it is being said, it is through Brahman that even the 5 elements function. It is through Brahman that the mind functions. It is through Brahman that the body, the vital energy, anything functions. That is the source of everything. That is the seat of your very perception. So turn towards that. Get knowledge of that. Then, Ihache dashakat bodhum praksharirasya visrasaha. That mantra says, if anyone is able to attain this knowledge of Brahman before death, he gets liberation in this very life. Yes? And see, this is what is called Jivan Mukti. This is the goal of Vedant. Not Krama Mukti. What I showed you yesterday on the board is Krama Mukti. You will travel a lot, go to this loka, that loka, then come back, again go here, come back according to your Krama Mukti. Gradually you attain to the realm of Hiranyagarbha, the realm of Sagun Brahman. Most jivas, because of our tremendous ignorance, it is only Krama Mukti. But the goal of Vedanta is not to go here and there. The goal of Vedanta is here and now realization, Jivan Mukti. If you know Brahman here and now, you will get Jivan Mukti. And Thakur also used to say, Shekhane Shekhane Agnan, Ekhane Ekhane Gnan, he used to say. It is right here, right now. You are turned elsewhere. What to do? That is the problem. See, that is why usually we don't give those kind of schemes in a Vedanta class. Do you know why? Because then you will start imagining, oh, I want to go here, I want to go there. Once our imagination kicks in, you move away from reality. The reality of Brahman is right now shining in your heart. It is your awareness through which your mind is illumined and you are thinking of Kathopanishad. It is illumining your senses in such a way you are hearing this Kathopanishad and you are understanding it. It's all happening by the power of Brahman right now. So there is no going anywhere and seeking anything. Yesterday I told you Vivekananda's great statement. What did I say? Don't seek Brahman, see Brahman. See God. He is ever shining in your heart. If he was absent and present only in the time of meditation, then you could have sought him through meditation. He is ever present, never absent. Our mind is present or absent, but not Brahman, not consciousness. It is ever shining all the time. Turn towards it. You just have to turn your face towards it and you will see it is there. It is that easy, you know. Vedanta is the most obvious truth about human life. Easier. It is so simple that we miss the point. Only problem with us is we are turned somewhere in the skies, we are searching for God. And many religions will tell you, hey, he's there up on above the clouds or in here, nowhere else. Many religions will do this. But Vedanta will tell you right in the beginning, the awareness through which your mind is searching for truth is God, is Brahman. Where are you searching for him? Vivekananda once wrote a poem on this, he's just blasting dualistic attitudes. Because that is the truth of existence. It is shining in all of us all the time. How do you worship Brahman? By leading a perfectly conscious life. That is the way to worship Brahman. Real worship is that. That is why Yajna was the yoga of the Vedic age. Yes, Yajna, which means I contribute to building another life. I cherish every life around me. I contribute to nourishing life around me. This is the worship of God. There is no other worship. You can't lock him up in a room and say he's only there. This is the mistake we do with dualistic systems. Not that he's not there, he's there also. But he's already present in all beings. Already present, already shining. And waiting to express himself. When you bring out that expression, you are worshipping Brahman. When you feed the hungry, you are worshipping God. When you clothe the suffering, you are worshipping God. When you bring peace among conflict, you are worshipping God. Every action is a worship. Everywhere he only is shining. So this is the spectacular view of reality given by Vedanta. That is why Vivekananda used to say, you remember that wonderful statement, he used to say this with emotion, may I be born again and again and suffer a million miseries, so that I may worship the only God I believe in. My God, the human soul. My God, the afflicted, miserable of all nations, of all castes. That is the special object of my worship. My God, the wicked. My God, the miserable. That is the special object of my worship. So please remember this. This should be the background idea of all systems of Indian philosophy. That Brahman is manifest around us. And worshipping what is manifest around us is the first worship of God. If I ignore that, see, we did this for centuries and we paid for it. If I ignore my sister and I worship here, you think he'll be pleased? So we must know how to worship also. Vedanta is teaching us. He is pleased when his children are served. When he shining in all being is served, then he is mightily pleased. Otherwise, he is not pleased. Yes, Vivekananda used to say this. There is that beautiful story, but if I go into that, we'll go out of the Upanishad. So let me just proceed with this. Again and again he keeps telling this. Yatha darshe tathatmani yatha swapne tatha pitruloke yathapsu pariva dadrshe tatha gandharva loke chaya tapayoriva brahma loke. See, this is also a very significant mantra. Just as a clear reflection is seen in a clear mirror, so also the self is seen in a pure mind. The way to self-knowledge is being given. Don't make logical conclusions like, oh, self and mind are two different things, so working on mind will not get me self-knowledge. That is totally wrong. You have only one instrument of knowledge, your mind. Clarify it and you will come to this knowledge. So that is why from yoga to Vedanta is the way. Yoga as a means of practice. Right? Is this correct? Yes? And we are not talking of yoga as a philosophy, but as a meditative practice. That is the way to Vedanta. Never let that go. Just because we know a little philosophy of Vedanta, you must never stop the practice. In the world, then he gives different ways in which self-knowledge can be got. You see, he says, in the world of the ancestors, you see the self hazily as you see in a dream. In the world of Gandharvas, it is like seeing a reflection in water. It is clearest where? In the human being whose mind is pure. That is the value of the human birth. See, we have been given a mechanism through which you can attain the highest. Sri Ramakrishna used to say this, Manush ki kaun ga? He would say, is a human being a small thing? Ananter chinta korte pare. He can think of the infinite. Man alone can think of the infinite. Anybody else can? Any other creature on the planet? They can't even stand straight. Not to speak of thinking straight. They can't stand straight. The vertebral column itself is bent. So how can energy be raised? Only check and see, only the human being is the only creature who stands straight on the planet. Even the gorilla will tilt after a few seconds. No other creature stands straight. We have been given this well-developed vertebral column, spinal capacity and brain and central nervous system only so that we can reach the highest. But what did we do with life and life energy? That is why never compromise on your spiritual goal. Once you understand it, and the younger the better, the life energy should go towards that. So this is what they are saying. In any other world, you will just get an abhas of it, that is all. Because it is a bhoga bhumi. It is meant for a purpose and then you are coming back. Only here you will get direct knowledge of that. Through Vedanta. Vedanta is the Shabda Praman for Brahman. Vedanta Nama Upanishad Pramanam. That is the definition of Vedanta, which means the evidence to truth provided by the Upanishadic texts. That evidence is encapsulated in this philosophy of Vedanta. Catch that evidence. Right now, right here, you are the self. And it is right in your experience also. Shall I give you some clues, some more clues to this? Now see, suppose I lift my hand. All of you lift your hand, come on. One hand. Yes. See, you know you lifted your hand. Does your hand know? Your hand does not know. Which means what? See, it only means this much, that you are conscious of your hand. Your hand is not conscious of you. You are conscious of your body is not conscious of you. You are conscious of your thoughts. Your thoughts are not conscious of you. So consciousness belongs to the subject you, and these are all objects of perception. Body-mind complex. I told you, right now, right here, you are Brahman. How do we manage to say I am body? It is really a contradiction in terms. You can say I have a body. I am wearing a body, but I am body. It is actually the most untruth statement. You are capable of seeing the body as an object. You are capable of seeing thought as an object, objectively. That itself means you are the subject apart from the object. Drigdrishya Vivek is meant for this. Understand how this mechanism is functioning. You are functioning through a body and mind. You are not the body and mind. And anyone who says you are only body, you are only mind, is insulting you. Don't take the insult. Take charge of yourself. It's done through Vedanta. See, Vedanta will give us the real empowerment which we all require. Empowering you from within. There are so many such clues scattered, especially in the what are called Prakarana Granthas. They are small texts based on the Upanishadic philosophy. There are so many such clues are scattered. Your everyday experiences are being analyzed to the core. Yes. And they are telling you that just by this analysis you get a hint of who you truly are. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti analysis, Panchakosha analysis. And there are so many ways in which you can know. See, the very fact that I know my thoughts, I know what I had been thinking, means somewhere there is an awareness which is not thought. You can detect change only from a vantage point of changelessness, isn't it? See, everything is a clue, in fact. Kathopanishad says this, Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate. Every bodh, every thought, every understanding, every bit of knowledge is pointing to the self. See it. Every thought is proof of self. Every idea is proof of Atman. And every perception is verily he. But no. Reality is really, shining forth in full blaze. But I am turning elsewhere. That's why Advaita Vedanta will say this, that, the nature of Maya is such, the obvious becomes unobvious. It is like a screen being thrown on our eyes. What is absolutely real right now, I am not able to see it. Then, Indriyanam pratak bhavam udayastamayochayat pratagutpadyamananam madvadhiro na shochati. The sense organs have a separate origin in that they are products of the elements. They are active when an individual is awake and they are idle when he goes to sleep. But the truly wise man knows the self to be independent of sense organs. See, all our senses and mind are quite separate from the self. Isn't it? But most people are investing time in honing and bettering senses and body, thinking they are the self. Yes, sheer waste of time and energy. And they feel that will lead to happiness. Somebody's recognition of how nice I am will lead to my happiness. Can it happen? Happiness comes from within. Happiness is directly related to your awareness and to your mental clarity. Who gave us these ideas that you have to be like this so that somebody will praise you and you will become happy? So you see, directly they are telling you here. The self is apart from all this. Don't invest your intelligence in something like this. Don't invest your energies into all that. Turn inward. Get this knowledge and you will become a powerful force who will be able to do anything in the world. This is what they are saying. See, anything you analyze about human life, you will come to the idea of the self. Only we have not learned to analyze. We only analyze objects. Because when we started going to school, they taught us numbers and we started analyzing through numbers. They taught us words and we play word games. But we don't analyze the elements of our own personality. Vedanta means self-analysis, analyzing this. Your 3 states of everyday experience. Just analyze and see right now. What are the 3 states of everyday experience? Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. And what is Jagrat? I hope we are all in Jagrat just now. Yes? Thank you. So Jagrat state means the senses are active and the mind is active. Right? Swapna state means senses are active? No. Mind is active. That is the Swapna, dream state. And Sushupti means both are not active. Neither senses are active nor mind is active because mind has shut down. But still you experience something in deep sleep, no? Restfulness, peacefulness, calmness. And we can't do without deep sleep. So who experienced that? Consciousness. Which eye? Who experienced the restfulness of deep sleep? If your mind was shut down, who tracked that I had no objective encounter, I just slept peacefully like a log? Who tracked that? Think and see, it's an important question. There's only one answer, so you say. So yes, consciousness, okay. Somewhere your consciousness, subliminal consciousness, is capable of tracking the absence of thought, the absence of object. You are not just aware of your thoughts, you are also aware of the absence of thought. See the magic of it? That itself proves you are only awareness. Everything else is objective to your experience. How many clues are there? I can give you 21 clues right here, but we don't have time. You can watch that talk on Vedanta as the science of consciousness. Please watch that talk. Homework. That has so many clues. It was given at Vedanta New York only. Vedanta as the science of consciousness. So there you will see so many clues are scattered in everyday experience. See, we are analyzing our everyday experience. We are not analyzing any book. Anything, any way you analyze, you should come to self-knowledge. If you have that mati, that kind of buddhi. So, the way of Vedanta is this kind of self-analysis and meditation. Meditation is required. To actually track the Turiya Avastha, meditation is required. Just now we analyzed the 3 states, but there's a 4th one. It's not actually a 4th state, it is the underlying reality of these 3 states. It is the Turiya. But I will not go into Turiya unless I have meditative awareness, not just analytical ability. So combine the two, existential inquiry and meditation is Vedanta. Indriyebhya param mano manasa sattvam uttamam sattvadari mahanatma mahato vyaktam uttamam. See, he is giving another pointer. The mind is superior to the sense organs, right? Yeah, obviously. The intellect is superior to the mind. Superior to the intellect is the great self, the Atman. And superior to the great self is avyakta, which is the unmanifest, Brahman. Yes, that's the order of things. So don't worry, that's what however the mind misbehaves, you must remember there's something, I'm greater than that. Don't worry. Whatever the senses may be doing, remember you are the Atman. Whatever the mind is doing, remember you are the Atman. And the proof of the Atman lies in everyday experience, not in some Himalayan cave. You may go there, sit for some time and come back. But it lies right here and right now, always. See, I'll ask you simple things by which again you will come to it. What is the proof that I have eyes? I can see objects. What is the proof I have ear? I can hear. So you see, object is proof I have eyes. And I can hear sounds, that is proof I have ears. Now suppose I have conscious experiences. That is proof of what then? Be loud, be confident. Conscious. The fact that you have conscious experiences is proof enough that you have consciousness. Isn't it? We are applying simple logic. The proof that you have consciousness, only the intellect requires proofs, okay? That is ever present logical proofs are there. Right now they are there. But this is not leading me to the experience of consciousness, because consciousness is not an experience, it is always there. Now suppose I say I can't experience the air around me, so air is not there. Will that be right? Like that. Just like that. You are consciousness, so you are having conscious experiences. So don't ask for experience, ask for why my mind is not feeling fully aware. Ask for that. And for that the method is, it must turn towards consciousness. If you turn towards the mirror, you will see your face. If you turn away from the mirror and ask, where is my face? How will you see? Turn towards consciousness. The mind will become fully conscious. That mind itself will tell you the nature of consciousness. So we must know which direction to turn. That is the meaning of all these mantras. Turn inward, turn inward. Everything lies there. So arrange the life around you in such a way you will be able to do this. See, this is smartness. The really smart people in this world arrange things in their homes and around their homes and their friends, their job front, everything in such a way I am able to do this wisely. And those who are less smart are always complaining. Nothing is working for, how do I do spiritual life? I cannot. But really smart means making those changes around me, in our homes, in our workspaces, in our relationships. Make really smart relationships if you have to make it all. Really smart workforce, so that all this pervades there and you can get into it at will. Most young women are trying to become independent today only for this, do you know? All the kids I am teaching at IITs, the girls especially will say this, Mataji, the only goal is economic independence so that I can pursue this. So become really smart. Avyaktātu parapurusho vyapako linga evacha yam jñātva muchyate jantur amritatvam cha gacchati. So the Purusha is all pervasive and formless, and by knowing it one attains immortality. This is what we have been discussing. Then you see one very interesting mantra is there. Na sandrishe tishtati rupamasya na chakshusha pashyati kaschanainam hrida manisha manasabhiklupto ya etad vidur amritaste bhavanti. Which means, na sandrishe tishtati rupamasya. The self is formless. It cannot stand before you like an object. Na chakshusha pashyati kaschanainam. Nobody can see it through the eyes. In fact, it is that which enables your eyes to see. Kathopanishad says this. So, I think she wants to do pranam. She wants to pranam. Hrida Manisha Manasa Bhiklupto. It reveals, the self reveals itself in that heart, where all complications have been cut off. A pure heart, without any confusion, without any complication. It reveals itself there, he is saying. Etad vidur amritaste bhavanti. And by knowing this self, one attains to immortality. Yada panchavatishtante jnanani manasa saha buddhischa na vicheshtate tamahu paramam gatim. So you see the exact point of realization also is given here. At what point does the realization of the self happen? When the 5 organs of perception stop working, which means they are not moving outward now, they have turned inward. Having merged with the mind, they have become one with the mind. And the intellect too has come to a stillness. That is the state scholars describe as being the highest spiritual state. Which means what? You have attained deep inner stillness of senses, mind and intellect. Now your buddhi will reflect the light of the Atman. Nothing more is required. That is the value of stillness, the value of meditation. The restless mind must understand this. In stillness lies this knowledge. That is why the whole science of yoga, yogastu chitta vritti nirodh, because they are wanting to come to this. Does this mean that, when the mind is restless and working, there is no self? There is self, no? What happened to it? Because of the restlessness of the mind, the self appears to be hidden. Yes, but the mind is being powered by that awareness only. Self is ever present. It is the mind which flickers. Let's understand this. Sun is ever present. The clouds flicker, come and go. So suppose I say, oh, there's no sun today. We use such language, but actually there's always the sun. Even at night, your sun is there. Only you turned away from it. That's all happened. Sun is ever there. Self is ever there. Mind flickers. The restless mind, the turbulent senses will make the sun appear, absent. So they are telling us the self is ever there. Just turn towards it. And when the intellect is able, that is, actually speaking, it is the light of awareness that streams into what we call the buddhi and helps us get self-knowledge. You are being empowered and lit up from within. The self at the heart of your being, it brightens, it shines on the buddhi. The buddhi reflects that light if it is sane and clear enough. And then that light touches the mind. Mind, if it is calm enough, it will reflect that light further into the senses. Even the very senses of a sage appear lit up from within. Because there are no obstructions. So this is the mechanism to be created for self-knowledge. See how many things they are telling us. How to do meditation, they are telling us. And then tam yogamiti manyante sthiram indriyadha. This is called yoga. You see, Upanishad is telling us the value of yoga. According to the yogis, the state in which all the organs as described are at rest, that is the state of yoga. In that state, the yogi will never make a mistake regarding self-knowledge. He will come into self-knowledge. I told you, Sankhya helps Vedanta. You need not see only the differences. Philosophically, there are few differences, but psychologically, in terms of sadhana, always Sankhya has helped Vedanta. So that is why he is saying here, the yogic state, attain to that state. See, this is a samadhi-like state, although the word samadhi is not used. Right? Where you are able to see perfectly whatever is, because the fluctuations of the mind have stopped. But he also cautions us that yoga also has its prabhavapyayo, its rise and fall. Yoga also has that, Why does this happen in yoga? Sometimes the mind is clear, sometimes it is totally unclear, sometimes it is dazed, sometimes it is bright. Why? Yes. See how it interrupts. Our mind is capable of all this kind of disturbance. So tell me this, why does the mind have rise and fall? Why? It is Prakriti. Prakriti is Chanchala. And due to our inner sanskars, we have conditioned such elements into our mind, it can't keep still. It has to keep jumping, then it is okay. If it goes into stillness, it gets frightened. Very sad state of affairs. That is why if we make the spiritual life habitual, then you will create the right sanskars for the higher life. This is very important to come into self-knowledge. Without those sanskars, now when we go and speak in colleges, many youngsters get very inspired and I will do meditation. First build the sanskars for this life, otherwise nothing will last. One little bit of meditation will not do anything. So the sanskars for the higher life have to be built through karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, all this meditative practice. Day after day, you are laying the building blocks for the higher realization. Please know this. And be where you are. Don't try to run away somewhere else and try to be what you are not. Where I am is my place of yoga. What I am doing is my karma yoga at that time. Make peace with your surroundings and your everything around you and work through that. Because I told you, He would not put you in that place if it was not required for your growth. Where I am is my place of growth. So work from there. Lay the foundation of great realization right in your home. Lay those steps. Those are the steps which will take us very far. Which means what? I will divinize my home, my household. I will bring a little bit of Shastra Charsha there. I will do a little bit of puja there every day. I will do a arti in which all my family members will come. I will read Kathamrit. I will maintain a positive vibration at home. I won't overindulge. I won't gossip. If you do all this, you will create the atmosphere right where you are. Workplace, it is difficult, I understand. But still, I've seen this. I've spoken at so many corporates. Even in the corporates, people are yearning for this. So many people are yearning for this because it is the nature of the mind to turn towards the self. If you are not giving it that food, it will keep yearning. Whether you know Upanishad or not, everybody is yearning for this. I remember when I was in Almora, there was one man who appeared so devoted, constantly doing things. His name was Noor. Constantly doing things for us and always carrying mother's picture in his pocket. Mother, he loved mother and carrying her picture in his pocket and doing things for us. And then one day during some utsav, Thakur or Mother's utsav it was, he was guarding our gate and then some people came and told me, Mataji, how you are allowing this man to do all this for the ashram? I said, why? He is such a good devotee. Then they said, devotee, he's a gunda. he robs people. We didn't know that at all, okay? And I'm telling you, he used to rob people, it seems, and he used to do that. But bringing everything and giving it to mother, like Amja's reincarnation, you can say. Like that he was. But what devotion to mother. And like this in front of us. So I never realized he's that kind. He's a real thug, what is called. But you see, what I'm saying is even that heart is yearning for the divine. Everyone is yearning only for this. So the methods are given here. Tam yogamiti manyante sthiraminjadhana. So we did this. Naiva vacha na manasa praptum shakyo na chakshusha astiti bruvato nyatra katham tadupalabhyate. The self is beyond speech and thought. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Upanishad will say. Speech and thought will not touch it. Because it is not for senses or mind to know this truth. By stilling these, the awareness will come to the forefront. That is the way to know it. Are you getting the clues? Learn to become deeply aware. Automatically mind will function magically. Everything in the universe will come for you, towards you. If our own mind is restless, everything will move away from us, And then they say that this is what the scriptures and teachers tell us. This is the essence of Brahma Vidya. First and foremost, one has to have the realization of the self and the cosmic self. And this will lead to conviction. I'm just summarizing what they are trying to say because time is up. This will lead to the greatest intellectual conviction. Some glimpse of this inner being, which I am, will lead to a very brilliant, sparkling intellect and a mind which is well controlled. So with that kind of an instrument, you can do anything in this world. This is the actual secret of success. And then he says that one who has overpowered the mind through this knowledge and got rid of the vain desires of the mind, he attains to self-knowledge. He remains in the knowledge of Brahman. And this is what the Vedanta teaches us, that there is a way to get rid of the vagaries of the mind, the tendencies of the mind, and attain to the supreme knowledge of pure being, and that is through self-knowledge. And then it also says, it also gives you a kind of mental picture of what the self is by giving you Angushtamatra Purusho. Why they say this is, it is the center of your being. Center, the seat of your perceptions, meditations, sensation, everything. And it is shining all the time within you through discrimination, philosophical discrimination. Learn to separate it from the body and mind. See, this is a very significant mantra. Tam swat sharirat prabrihe munjadi veshikam dhairyena. With patience, you must separate it from what it is not. Separate it from the body-mind complex. In your own awareness, this is to be done. And you will know that the heart of that awareness is pure consciousness. That is you. That is the real self. You don't have to keep writing so fast. You are recording it. Mrityu proktam nachiketo dalabdha vidyametam yoga vidhim cha krishnam. So by the method of yoga, Nachiketa was taught this knowledge, Brahma Vidya, by Yama. And knowing it came easy to him because he was so prepared. Thus he attained to the knowledge of the Immortal One. That is how the Upanishad concludes. That this knowledge was transmitted by Yama to Nachiketa, who being a fit receptacle for this knowledge, attained it by this method of yoga, it says. So there's actually speaking no collision between yoga and Advaita Vedanta. They actually complement each other. Only thing is, philosophically, your Sankhya is a little different from Advaita because many Purushas and all that. That kind of concept. But we are not going philosophically, we are going psychologically. Sadhana, how to do sadhana is what matters. So this is how the Kathopanishad ends with the realization which Nachiketa arrived at. So summarizing this text is very easy. It talks of only one thing, self-knowledge. How to get it? Through inquiry and meditation. Learn to still the mind. Different paradigms and examples and analogies are given in the Kathopanishad. In fact, there's a talk which was given, I think in Pangot, called Analogies of the Kathopanishad. You can watch it if you want. So that chariot example and so many other examples, they are trying to lead us into self-knowledge. But the most obvious thing about the self is it is ever-present reality. Your mind is flickering, so you are not seeing it. And everybody's mind is flickering, so then flickering minds match. So we see only mind, we don't see the self. But self is ever-present reality. All that we have to do is work on the mind. That is the message of the Kathopanishad. And very clearly the ideas have been put. With this he concludes actually the Upanishad. So we will also conclude here. Essence is sadhana always. Every Upanishad tells us this. Do the thing, you will get the result. Inquiry and meditation is the way. So we will end the Upanishad here and I'll open the floor to questions. No questions, very good. Two type of people don't ask questions, you know. One who understood everything, second type who understood nothing. Okay.
I just wanted a confirmation. You said the proof of my having eyes is that I can see. The proof I have here is I can hear. And the proof of my having consciousness is every consciousness.
Correct.
Is that what is meant by this tantra? Yena rupam prasamdana.
Shabdan sparshan. Exactly. Everything which the senses are points only to consciousness. Every thought points only to consciousness. See what they are saying, it is so significant. Everything in your life is only pointing to consciousness. How we don't realize it? That's the beauty of Maya. The whole mechanism is only trying to understand object, not subject. Yes. Yama's opposite is Maya, she's saying. Correct? The very definition of Maya is Ya, Ma, Sa, Maya. Which means that which is not there but affects you. That is Maya. She's so illusory, but she deludes your mind. There is a huge mechanism through which Maya functions. It is very interesting to know actually. It's called Adhyas. But we have no time for Adhyas here. The video is there, if you want you can watch. But Adhyas is the mechanism of Maya. Maybe some other time we'll discuss it. Yes, any other question?
Is ego the same as reflected consciousness?
No. Chidabhas or witness consciousness, you can call it witness awareness. Ego is a ahamatmika antakarana vritti. Ahankar vritti.
It's the same as Chidabhas, not Chidabhas.
Chidabhas is the light of awareness reflected in your mind. It is something useful. Chidabhas is useful for self-knowledge. Ego is useless. Ego is an antakarana vritti.
Chidabhas is
prior to ego. Ego is an assumption to which we give too much importance. No? I think to have a humble disposition always is a sign of great intelligence. If you feel it is rising, if within you ego is rising, all the more become humble. All the more pray for humility, because humility is the truth about our existence. There's nothing to be proud of. Only thing to be proud of is that we are sparks of divinity. That is the healthy ego. Thakur used to say the ripe ego. Yes, there's nothing else to be proud of. Very unintelligent people only have pride. Have you seen? Where there's no consciousness, there will be pride. I confess that it is not in my hands. So you tell mother, after all everything is in her hands. I have no time. This also by chance it has happened, you don't know that. But you are most welcome to come to Pangot. But come only next year after June. Till then, no seats. See, some people are like that, capable of everything. He has these sanskars also, he has those sanskars also. Ultimately, your sanskars will come out through your actions. So what to do? He has this also, he has that. Many people are like that. That Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story is there. No? This dual nature is there. See, you are very good here. You never know what will happen at home. And in the workplace, you have a different role. So like that, many people are like that. What to do? The point is to increase our good sanskars so much that everywhere we are the same.
As soon as we wake up, there is a sense of presence. I mean, we are not aware of the body or anything.
Very true.
That is Chidabhasa.
That is Chidabhas, and extend it as much as possible. That is why I said first half an hour of every morning should go into spiritual life to maintain that Chidabhas. See, as soon as you get up, just the sense of I am is there. There's not yet, all the stupidity has not yet come in. I am body, I am look like this, I am like that. All that nonsense has not come in. Extend this I am. That's why, in ashrams and all, there are no mirrors. We don't have mirror only here. In Pangod you come, I will give you the experience. Stay without looking into a mirror for 7 days. You will realize who you truly are, not what you see before you. So it was a very good question what she asked. Yes, anything else?
Mother, taking from her what she said, that when you wake up, you have a dices.
Yeah.
Similarly, when we listen to a good Vedantic talks and this one, again, a similar effect is there.
Yes.
That body mind consciousness, all the nonsense, all the, and we should try to indeed in such a time you will see that if there are dualities also coming in the mind, like this, like there are something.
Correct.
So we can try to make it, but what I find is, we can try to make it in many cases, but in some places, we find that we get stuck. So I understand that that's a deep sanskar and we
Yes.
So, because that tendency is not going so easily.
Yes.
What can we do where
Yes. How to overcome deep-rooted sanskars. See, there is a video called Importance of Sanskar. Now my job is very simple. So many videos have come out. I just tell people, watch this Ashday. Watch the video called Importance of Sanskars. It is on, I think, Vivek Vani. You must know how a sanskar is created and how it lives, perpetuates itself, and utilizes your vital energy, and even harms. Some sanskars can harm. And what are the different types of sanskars and how to overcome them. And in the same way, good sanskars also are there which will help you in spiritual life. So how to build them. That video is entirely for young people. It's in YouTube. Vivek Vani channel, it is there. Importance of sanskars. Yeah. Subscribe to Vivek Vani, you will get all practical spirituality videos. But yes, our sanskars decide our behavior. Absolutely. Because if I go into that now, no, it will take a long time. That's why I'm giving you the video. How a sanskar is created, you should know. And how it lives, how it works. And the different types of sanskars you are capable of. If that sanskar bal is not there, you cannot have this knowledge. The right kind of sanskars are required That is why a lot of work is required before we come into the real experience of self. It is good that many people don't have it, that they don't have self-knowledge, because a bad mind and a concept of the self don't go together. You know? Once Bhuteshananji Maharaj, he said this. He said that it is a good thing that many people don't have self-knowledge, for the simple reason the mind is so corrupt that they will think that, oh, I am already God. All that kind of thinking will come. So take care. It's only a very noble mind that will still itself and give you this knowledge. Otherwise the mind will not even still itself. So don't worry at all. A bad mind cannot become still. Yes. Once one kid asked me, I think somewhere in JNU, why at all should I be good? So I told him that's the only way you can control your mind. And if you can't control your mind, you can't lead the kind of life you want. And then he said, why should I control the mind? And I said, if you can't still your mind, you will kill yourself. Is it right? Huh? We are self-sufficient to kill ourselves, to reduce ourselves into depression. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof, they say. No? So take charge. With the study of Upanishad, you must get in charge of your mind and everything, your sanskars. It is self-empowerment. Upanishad is the real empowerment. Isn't it? Who can empower us but ourselves? Uddharet atmana atmanam. Na atmanam avasadet. Atmaiva atmano bandhu. Atmaiva ripuratmana. Yes, anything else? Yes. Huh? Short meditation. 5-minute meditation. Okay, come on. Sit straight. Very small meditation I will introduce. Most important conditions is spine should be straight. And you must breathe deeply. Preconditions for the meditative process. Sit still. Spine should be straight. And breathing should be deep. Sit with ease, don't become rigid, but breathe properly. Establish this deep breathing. And then watch your mind. See, automatically it comes to a calm state. Just to help your mind further calm down, imagine a point of light in your heart. Imagine it strongly. A spark of light shining in your heart. This is the light of your awareness, ever-present consciousness, existence itself, bliss itself. You are not the mind. You are using the mind. You are consciousness. Feel that aham bodh within you. I am sense. Ahamasmi. Equate it with this light shining in your heart. And look at the stillness of your mind. The mind in the heart is stillness. Keep the attention on the heart center. Look at the state empty of thought. You are always aware. Thoughts are occasional, but you give them too much importance. Awareness is our primary nature. This awareness shining in the heart has a name. It is called Om. We will repeat Om 5 times. Just feel the reverberation of this Om in your heart for the next 1 minute. Just hear the Om. Just look at the stillness in your heart. Keep this light ever shining bright in the heart and imagine the same light pervading everything around you. It is the light in all beings. It is the light in which all objects are found. It is the light of Brahman, pure consciousness, ever present in your heart. This is your unchanging identity, the real you. And it is the I in everyone, the same being. With this thought of the divine ever present in our heart, illumining our system from within, we will slowly open our eyes. Look at the power of stillness. Stillness is awareness. These 5-minute and 15-minute meditations are there on the internet. They are on YouTube. You can use them as you want. So we will conclude the series here. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanam.